Okay, let's unpack this. We're diving into a stack of sources today.
Yep, all focused on a pretty specific detail in the Tamiya RC world.
Right, the three-piece wheel. Surprisingly important, actually.
hmm You see them on iconic models, don't you? Like the Sand Scorcher or the original Hornet.
Exactly. And unlike most wheels, the standard one-piece kind, these are modular.
Yeah, they're made up of, what, a center hub?
A center hub, and then separate inner and outer rim halves, all bolted together.
Right. So our mission today is to kind of pull out the key insights from these sources.
Yeah, figure out why this multi-piece thing is so appealing to Tamiya folks.
And crucially, why should you care about these, detailed little parts for your own projects?
It's pretty fascinating, actually. This modular approach, it unlocks benefits that, while they really resonate with the Tamiya hobbyist.
Yeah, someone who really values, like, customization, being able to repair stuff.
And that deep connection to scale realism, the whole building process.
Absolutely. And the sources, they really highlight how, unlike a simple one-piece wheel that's just molded solid.
These three separate parts give you a level of control you just don't get otherwise.
Even Tamiya's own history, you mentioned the Sand Scorcher, the Hornet.
Yeah.
It's really linked to these designs.
Okay, so it's not just, like, historical trivia. It's functional and nostalgic.
Definitely. And the first big advantage our sources kept bringing up is, well, customization. Loads of options.
Right, because you have those three separate pieces, you can mix and match the centers with different barrels, the inner and outer ones.
Exactly, and that lets you seriously dial in the wheel fitment.
Adjusting the overall width and the offset.
Yeah, the offset. And maybe we should quickly clarify offset.
Good idea. It's basically how far the wheel mounts, like in or out relative to the hub face, right?
Spot on. And getting that right, as lots of builders in these sources emphasized, it's huge.
Huge for getting that perfect stance.
Or getting wheels to clear suspension parts, maybe on a custom build.
Yeah, or even fine-tuning the handling. I saw one discussion on a forum source.
Oh, yeah.
They mentioned just swapping an inner barrel completely changed the track width on their Buggy Champ restoration.
Really? Which they hadn't expected, I bet.
No, but they found it surprisingly effective for tuning.
See, that level of, like, granular control.
Yeah.
You just can't replicate that easily with a single piece wheel.
True. And another major plus highlighted was repairability.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one. RC vehicles, especially those classic Tamiya off-roaders, they will take hits.
For sure. And the sources show if you scratch a lip or, damage a centerpiece on one of these.
You often just need to replace that single bit, not the whole wheel.
Which, that raises a good point about longevity, right? And cost-effectiveness over time.
Some online hobby site reviews really pointed that out.
While the initial price for good three-piece wheels might be higher.
Being able to swap out just one damaged part instead of the whole wheel, yeah, that can save you money, especially on, like, nicer or rarer sets.
It fits perfectly with that whole Tamiya philosophy, doesn't it? Building, maintaining, cherishing the models.
Totally. But they aren't just about looks and fixing things. There are performance benefits, too.
Right. High-quality ones, maybe with centers made from stronger materials.
Yes, some technical reviews mention that. They can offer better durability, maybe reduced weight.
But the big one, the often game-changing performance advantage, particularly for off-road Tamiyas, that comes with the beadlock designs.
Ah, yes, beadlocks. Several sources really focus on this.
They mechanically clamp the tire bead between the wheel parts, right?
Exactly. And why that matters is, well, it means you can run super low tire pressures.
For maximum grip on tricky terrain, rocks, loose dirt.
You got it. Without the tire debeading, popping off the rim.
And crucially, this was a huge point of praise everywhere. Forums, reviews, it eliminates the need for glue.
Yes, no more messy tire gluing.
Which means you can easily swap tires, right? Depending on the surface.
Or swap and tune the foam inserts inside the tires for different stiffness, different grip levels.
That's a massive convenience, especially like on vintage models you want to preserve.
Or if you're just experimenting with setups, lots of crawler and off-road users pointed that out.
And finally, kind of tying all these practical advantages together, there's that undeniable scale realism and the vintage appeal.
Yeah, Tamiya is celebrated for scale accuracy, isn't it? And lots of real-world race cars, custom vehicles, they use multi-piece wheels.
So putting them on your RC, it directly replicates that authentic look.
Exactly. And like you said right at the start, so many iconic early Tamiya's Sand Scorcher, Hornet, Frog, they originally came with three-piece wheels.
So for anyone restoring those old kits or building the popular re-releases...
Using those original style wheels, well, Build Threads we looked at said it's absolutely essential for authenticity.
Connects you right back to that classic heritage. For many, probably childhood nostalgia, too.
It's a fundamental part of the charm, you know?
So what does this all mean, then? Pulling from our stack of sources, we've seen how three-piece wheels offer, well, unparalleled customization for fitment aesthetics.
Provide enhanced repairability, extending their lifespan, saving money maybe.
Offer performance boosts, especially that glue-free tire security and tunability with bead locks for off-roaders.
And they connect your model directly to Tamiya's vintage heritage, that pursuit of scale realism.
Now, they might involve, a higher initial cost, maybe a bit more assembly than a simple one-piece wheel.
But for many, the sources really show they represent a key part of the Tamiya building and personalization experience.
Which kind of raises an important question for you listening for your next Tamiya project. Is that level of control, that connection to the craft, and the potential performance boost that three-piece wheels offer? Is that a trade-off you'd be willing to make?